His obsession began as a child, compelling his religious mother, he says, to consult a cleric about her son's interest in a man named Mozart.
Luckily for me, this religious man, Mullah, he said, you know, I don't know this gentleman myself, but let him to do, because I heard a lot of good things about Mozart. That means Mozart.
Later graduating with great success from Vienna, an impassioned 25-year-old Rahbari returned home to direct Tehran's conservatory, proudly assembling an orchestra of 100 young Iranians. But his enthusiasm soon fell flat. Convinced music was underfunded and neglected, his disillusionment drove him back to Europe in 1976, leading a year later to the life-altering moment that would launch his international career.
This is the picture of destiny.
Winning gold at the Besançon Conductors Competition in France.
It changed all my life. And
what does it say here?
Here I wrote to my mother and my father, presented that to them, and thanked them that they sacrificed their energy for my education.
Using the name Alexander Rahbari, he became world-renowned, going on to conduct more than 100 international orchestras. Finally, after 30 years, he was officially invited home last August. And with the country in the midst of a political drama as a more conservative president took office, Rahbari took the baton of Tehran's Symphony Orchestra. Culminating in 7 consecutive nights of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, playing to sold-out houses. But then Rahbari shocked his audience. After a final standing ovation, he turned to the crowd and very publicly resigned, denouncing what first drove him away 30 years earlier, what he calls the mistreatment of local musicians. Rahbari wrote an open letter to the government demanding higher salaries for the orchestra. And until he's invited back, he says, this maestro is staying in Vienna. In Rahbari's adopted home, Austria, this year we'll see countrywide celebrations, marking the 250th birthday of one of its favorite musical sons, the legendary Mozart. Many of the events taking place here at the renowned Vienna Opera House. Rahbari says his greatest dream to one day open and conduct the Tehran Opera House. But with the current political situation in his native country, that's looking increasingly unlikely. In December, there were reports that Iran's president, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, banned all Western music. Iranian officials insist the reports were exaggerated, explaining the president only made recommendations to state-run media to avoid playing what they called immoral music. It's something Rahbari bitterly rejects.
Bad music doesn't exist. There is no bad music.
Classical music, however, remains officially permitted. Back in Vienna, Rahbari is focusing on finishing his life work, composing an opera to the lyrics of Shakespeare's sonnets, all 154 of them. So when this is completed, what will this mean?
Oh, that will be my Christmas.
And the greatest gift, he says, would be to one day play his masterpiece in Tehran. Shams El Wazir for Inside the Middle East, Vienna.